It's amazing when one of our team from the US come to join us here in the UK. And today we've got the honour and privilege of having our Director of Operations, Kim Mitchell. Hi, Kim. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your role and maybe how God called you to CBN?
I'd love to. I am specifically over our ministry operations in Africa, the Middle East, including Pakistan, Europe, and the former Soviet Union. And then I also am involved in some international projects as well that go across the world.
Now, I know that you are a great supporter and fan of Superbook. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, can you tell us a little bit about it and also why you love it so much?
Dr. Robertson was given a vision or a burden for Japan. And this was in the late 70s, early 80s. And he didn't know much about Japan nor how to reach it with the gospel, but he had that burden from the Lord. And so through a set of really miraculous circumstances, he got to know an advertising agency, as I understand it, and they recommended that the Japanese love their manga comic books and anime type of animation. So why not produce a series of Bible stories using anime? And he did, and it was specifically for Japan only, with no thought that it would ever, have any use outside of Japan. And it was a big hit in Japan. It was a co-production, and we only had rights for Japan. So they quickly negotiated for worldwide rights, and that led to, the amazing journey of the original Superbook, including broadcast in the Soviet Union, not the former Soviet Union, it was the Soviet Union at the time, which is just amazing. And then, of course, Gordon Robertson, he had a vision to modernize and retell Superbook or reuse Superbook using more modern animation techniques. And it has been even more successful than the original series. So it's, seeing the hand of the Lord and his provision. Doing animation is not inexpensive. So it's always been a budget challenge, but the Lord has provided and it's had incredible results. My wife is involved in early childhood education and in Taiwan when we were courting and then getting married. And I remember so clearly one particular boy that was in her class, and she had led that boy to know more about the Lord, and he accepted Christ. He went home and shared that with his parents, who were Buddhists, and they became Christians. And I was just really struck by that the fact that a young child, once they learn the truth and really have Christ in their hearts, they can do so much. And so that was one small example, but with Superbook, we're seeing that every day in country after country after country. So for me, that's the most exciting thing, seeing not only children change, but whole families changed.
Currently, we here are translating the first season into British Sign Language with the hope to also translate it into Braille as well. How do you think that will impact the reach that can now have in sharing the gospel with more people?
Well, it's interesting because I don't recall any office or anybody within CBN saying, "Oh, we should do this." But it really makes sense because blind children, deaf children, they need to hear the gospel as well. And to think that maybe, not maybe, definitely at some point when we're in heaven, there will be children that come up and said, I accepted Christ because of that version of the Superbook, and I think it will serve as an example to other offices. We can do the same thing in other languages and in other countries. So it's a great innovative idea, and I think it's going to bear a lot of fruit.
We believe God is stirring something in this generation because children are not just the next generation, they are the now generation. And the Superbook Club is an invitation to stand with us in this mission. Join the Superbook Club today. To give and find out more, visit cbneurope.com/superbook-club. Thank you and God bless.